What's up, everyone? Adventurers, how are you? I'm your host, Matt, and welcome to Stream Your Own Adventure, the only show that I know of on Twitch where I read a choose your own adventure novel, and you, the audience, pick the direction we go in. As always, I encourage you to play the home game, and the way that's played is every time we die, we drink. And of course, I also encourage you to enjoy responsibly. How the hell are you on this fine Sunday evening? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Even though I suffered a bitter defeat today at Long Island RetroCon. And you're probably saying to yourself, but there are no conventions because of the... Yes, I know. They did a virtual convention, and I was part of a trivia panel for the Stone Age Gamer podcast. It was myself, Square Painter, Adam Schaub, and co-host of the... oh my god. I'm trying way too hard. Anyway, it was the co-host of what's that? Stone Age Gamer, video game trivia, which I'm not good at. And I have third place to prove it. So, there's that. But it was a lot of fun. It was very interesting to attend a convention digitally, virtually. It's not the same. It's just not the same. But what are you gonna do? Health comes first, and the health of others comes first. Many people don't know what that means, and that's a shame. But here we are. Right. Oh, Lorraine Photography. Always a pleasure having you. How the hell are you? Love seeing your smiling screen name. Yep. Tonight's book is The Forbidden Castle. Its cover boasts a whopping 27 endings. It's episode 14, by the way. I can't believe I made it this far without, I don't know, dying more. But yep, written by Edward Packard. I'd show you the cover, but is my sound low or is it just you? Let's see. I was messing with my audio settings, and I don't know. I'm peaking on my side, and I don't want to be, obviously. Let's see. Let's mess around with this because it's only you and me, and we can do that. Yeah, I don't like that I don't have the proper way to, Oh, I was working on the wrong one there. Yeah, I don't like that I don't have a proper way to monitor my sound coming off the computer. Is that any better? You tell me. Any better? Any worse? It's got to be a little bit better. Doesn't look like I'm... Cool. Doesn't look like I'm peaking, so I'm going to leave everything there. Yeah, it's kind of hard being an audio engineer in real life and not being able to monitor your own sound. Like, I want to put compression... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting way off topic here. I want to put compression. I want to do all that stuff to make it sound... nicey, but I can't do that because I can't monitor my own audio. Real dumb. One moment, please. As always, my air conditioner making its guest appearance. Whew. Alright. Let us proceed. Right. Let me just... take a quick peek. I always wonder who this person is. Too technical. Yeah, I know. If you're really not into this stuff, you just kind of glaze over. I get that look a lot. Especially from... So, yeah. That's my bread and butter, man. What am I going to do? Alright, let's start as we always start. Cheers to you. Man, that's tasty. All right. Apologize for texting and so forth. Got something coming up tomorrow, so I'm just trying to finalize those details. Maybe next Sunday I'll have good news for everyone. All right. Forbidden Castle. Bum, bum, bum. What I could borrow for? Why don't you let me borrow for 14? Yeah. Oh, internetarchive.org. It's a great place to borrow books if they have them. The Forbidden Castle. What an interesting drawing. He's so, I don't know. He's so ready from adventure. No, unfortunately it's not. I stopped buying from Gun Hill only because I think they were running down their summer stock a couple weeks ago, and they're probably getting into the fall brews. So I was gonna give them like another week or two before I check them out again. I don't know if I probably mentioned it before. Gun Hill was doing deliveries, obviously because of everything that's going on. The only problem is you have to spend like $40, so each order, for me is like $65, and given the current circumstances of everything going on, especially now that extra is gone, you really have, I personally have to, prioritize. So this is what I was having last week. Of course, I didn't bring the can around. Crowded House or something like that. I'll bring out the can later. I know I need a sponsorship. I really, really do. I also need more viewers to make the sponsorship worthwhile. So, what are you going to do? Ooh, this guy looks fun. So, I don't read the dedications. I skim them. Yeah, it is awkward. I skim them while I'm chit-chatting, but this is worth reading. For Wells, with appreciation and special thanks for the court of Rufus the Mad. And then there's a nice drawing of...
Dean, we got another one.
Hey! Dungeon Meowster, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I don't hear that sound all that often, so it kind of caught me off guard. I really enjoy the name, by the way, Dungeon Meowster. Yeah. Some groovy coat of arms. Here we go. Warning, do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. It contains many different adventures that you may have in medieval England and France as you search for the Forbidden Castle. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make decisions and choices. Some of them are dangerous. What happens to you will be the result of your choices. You are responsible because you choose. After you make each choice, follow the instructions to see what happens next. It's like the basis for this entire channel. Or program. Not channel. Think carefully before you make a decision. You could be stuck in medieval times forever. I mean, their drumsticks are pretty dope. Or you may find the Forbidden Castle and get back to the present time. Good luck. Meowdy. Oh man, this makes me want to play the cat game. Oh no, makes me want to play the cat game now. Oh man, is there like another Cave of Time thing? Whew. I have a feeling we're gonna be going into this thing. Alright, page 1. Great place to start, right? Lorraine, I'm real happy you're here for this. Where's Todd and our jug of milk? You found me on Twitter. I don't know what to say. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. Ice King, dude, what is up? Haven't seen you in forever. It's a pleasure to have you on. Or have you around. Have you on. I don't know. You found me on Twitter. Well, hang out long enough, you're going to see why this is a very strange show and why I'm laughing. Lorraine, this is just for you because you're the only one that's been here since day one. Ready? You promised yourself you'd never go back into the Cave of Time. But when you found the opening behind the big boulder in Red Creek Canyon, you couldn't resist. So here we are again. We might run into Todd. Who knows? The cave seemed darker than before. You slipped and fell. Your head hit something. Jeez, what a... And here you are, lying in a field, looking up into the branches of a big oak tree, with no idea of where you are, or even what century it might be. Now, you may never see your family and your friends again. You hear the sound of hooves and a strange clanking noise. Someone's coming. You duck behind a tree as two men on horseback ride toward you. They are wearing shining metal armor. One of them carries a white banner with a golden lion on it. They must be knights. You watch as they rein in their horses and dismount just a few yards away. "It was a long ride, Sir Rupert," says the taller one, "and you have had a long time to think. Tell me, have you solved the riddle of the Forbidden Castle?" Come on, man, go to page 3. Oh, here's a sketch of you hanging out in your jeans and your plaid t-shirt. You must have been lumberjacking when you fell into that hole. "In truth, Sir Godfried, I have tried, and so long as everyone else in... Okay. I have tried, and so has everyone else in England. What a reward King Henry has offered. Half the Kingdom of Wales. I'd love to be half the King of Wales. I love the Welsh people. I love the Welsh accent, actually. A handsome reward indeed, says Sir Godfried replies, but not an overgenerous one, for the old monk promised King Henry that if he conquered the Forbidden Castle, he would rule all of Europe. I don't know why one has an English accent and the other one doesn't. I don't know. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. The knights fill their flasks with water from a stream. As they walk back to their horses, Sir Godfried says, "We must get on to Cotwin Castle. The king expects us before sun passes behind the West Tower. He will be angry if we are late." "Aye," says Sir Rupert, as he vaults onto his horse. Sorry. Let me try one thing here. Just want to make this a wee bit bigger for me to read. Because I'm old. The king has been in a fearsome temper since he learned that there have been foreign spies in the English court, and now he has ordered that all suspicious-looking travelers shall be locked in the dungeon. See where this is going. As the knights prepare to ride off, you wonder whether you should come out from behind the tree. You're wearing 20th century clothing. Surely you will look suspicious to these knights. On the other hand, you can't stay hidden forever. So, as always, the journey begins. So what are we doing, guys? Are we going to, if we decide it would be wiser to wait for the next passerby, so wait for someone else, or if we decide to step out from our hiding place, show ourselves. Show yourself. So our choices are wait for someone else, or expose ourselves to the knights. Oh my god. Yeah, alright. Let me turn up the brightness on my screen here. I have it set for reading at night in bed, and that did nothing. Fantastic. Still did nothing. That's great. Show ourselves, of course. They will be frightened. Yeah, especially with our pants off. What? Who said that? I didn't say that. Yeah, right? The cool voting feature. I dig it because, quite frankly, I'm not trying to calculate all your votes. That's a lot of work. And by the end of this, I'm 3 sheets to the wind, usually. Dungeon Meowster, in case you missed the opening minute, obviously I read Choose Your Own Adventure novels. I let you guys decide, and if we hit an ending where we die, I take a shot for our fallen homies. And I encourage you to do the same, but responsibly. Unless, of course, you're underage. That's irresponsible. Alright, we're going to wait for someone else. Let's see, page 4. some of these emojis I don't even know. Like, I didn't make them, and I wish I did. I gotta get more involved in this stuff. Page 4. Excuse me. You decide to wait. As the knights ride out of sight, you hear a deep voice behind you.
Are you gonna stand behind that tree all day?
Turning, you look up into the eyes of a giant of a man. He's wearing leggings and a tunic made of deerskin. He holds a bow in one hand. A quiver filled with arrows is strapped over one shoulder.
You don't want King Henry's knights to see you, eh?
He laughs and adds,
Then you are a friend to me. Those puppets give me more trouble than they are worth.
He bends down and looks closely at your face.
My word. I have never seen the likes of you in these woods.
Yeah, that's because, not from around here. I am a stranger from another place and another time, you say. Could you tell me what year it is? Giant laughs again.
I don't keep count, he says. And I have never seen why anyone should. Garth is my name, and you can stay with me if you like.
Where do you live, you ask? Garth answers with a wave of his arm.
My house is a whole wide forest. There is plenty of food, I'm reading ahead, and plenty to do. It is the only place where a person can be free. Why not join me? Of course, if you are bothered by a little rain and wind now and then, you can follow that road to Cotwin Castle. They'll give you a roof over your head. I must warn you, though, it might be the roof of a dungeon. Waka waka.
And there's a drawing of the giant, and that is completely out of context. A lot of my jokes are completely out of context. Get that Bob Ross in there. Alright, so we got another decision to make. Our next decisions. Bad ones or good ones, they're all decisions. If you decide to go with Garth, that's the first one. Or if we decide to try our luck at Cotwin Castle. Cotwin Castle. Those are our choices. That dude kind of looks like, what's his name? What's that actor? Grizzly Adams. You old Grizzly Adams. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. What a week. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Is that Bob Ross? Like, I have no idea what that is. Like Garth's voice. You know, I'll probably lose it midway through the novel. I'll lose it midway through the stream, but at least you're enjoying it now. Is that Bob Ross? Yeah, it's totally Pixel Bob Ross. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that it says Pixel Bob. I'm so out of touch with all this. Ice King, I will get you the name of that in a minute. I picked it up at Seatown. I don't know if you've been to Seatown. They have quite the selection of random beers. Alright, we're going to go with Garth, because I think Dungeon Meowster wants me to keep talking like that. Page 7. Alright. Here we go. You've always wanted to learn how to live in the wilderness. This seems like the perfect chance. You follow Garth as he leads you through pine forests, along roaring brooks, and up steep rock ledges. The sun is dipped below the western hills when you reach a shelter under a rock ledge. You help him gather sticks and pine boughs, and you are soon warming your hands before a blazing fire. Why do you live in the woods like this, you ask? He grins.
Ever since I told King Henry that he was no better a man than anyone else, he's had a price on my head. He has lost 5 of his best knights trying to bring me to the gallows. Before I met you, I overheard his knights talking about some riddle. Do you know anything about it?
Yes, and it's quite a... Oh, haha, I got that wrong. Okay. Before I met you, I overheard his knights talking about some riddle. Do you know anything about it?
Yes, and it's quite a story, says Garth. About a year ago, an old monk visited the king and told him about a mysterious castle. Of course, the king demanded to know where this castle is, But the monk would not tell. Instead, he recited a strange tale and then said, "Who solves the riddle will find the castle, and who conquers the castle will rule all of Europe." Ever since then, King Henry has been trying to solve the riddle. He is angry because none of his wise men can do so. Do you know the answer to that riddle? Garth laughs. I do not even know the riddle. If you want to find out, you must gain admittance to King Henry's court. You may succeed, but if they suspect you are a runaway serf, they will throw you in a dungeon. You have no way of knowing what may lie in store at Cotwin Castle, but it's risky staying with Garth. He said it himself, the King's Knights are searching for him. So, our next choice. Are we going to try our luck? Okay, are we going to try our luck at Cotwin Castle, which sounds like a hoot? Or are we going to stay with Garth, excuse me. While you guys do that, I'm going to take one moment. Okay. Oh, I was right. It's called, Jeez, who brewed this? It's out of Rhode Island. It's called, Crowded Places. Braven Crowded Places. It is a New England IPA. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's tasty, I gotta say. New England IPA is nice. Nice and, not as, like, bitter as a regular IPA. Alright. We're off to see the wizard. I'm just kidding, we're staying with Garth, excuse me. Page 11. Page 11. Alright. Life with Garth may not be easy, or even safe, but he is a good friend, and you prefer the dangers of the forest to those of King Henry's court, so you join Garth in the Forest Kingdom. In his Forest Kingdom, excuse me. He teaches you to hunt and fish. In the evening, the two of you sit around the fire, and he tells stories of knights and dragons until you fall asleep dreaming of days gone by with your family and friends, hundreds of years in the future. One day, Garth turns to you and says, "You have grown quick and strong, and wise in the ways of the forest. It's time for you to decide what sort of life you want to live. If you would like..." Oh, sorry. See, I already forgot his voice. "If you would like a dangerous life where you might find fame and fortune, you could enter the court of Rufus, the Mad King of Hereford. Or, if you wish, you can remain in the forest with me." So, once again, sometimes they're a page long, sometimes they're 4 pages long. Gotta be quick with it. Are we going to, gonna find Rufus the Mad? Or are we gonna live in the forest with Garth? Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Ice King, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of anything alcoholic, really. Except for that. Not a big fan of that. Although it's growing on me from doing this show.
What am I gonna do, right? Actually, let's have some water. Oh, I got my biggest fan here, by the way. But I'm ching. Sorry. I'll never make that joke again. I promise. Whoa. I'm gonna live like Robin Hood. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, I left cookies for myself. I love it. I'm gonna live like Robin Hood in the forest. Alright. Page 24. Page 24. Find out what's in store. That's page 25. Alright. You stay with Garth and live in the forest. You become strong and tough, and you learn to make the best of the bad and enjoy the good. Over the years, others join you in Garth. Some of them are serfs who have run away from their masters. Others are knights who did not wish to spend their lives fighting for the king. By the time you grow up, Garth has grown too old to live the rough life of the forest. You become the leader of the clan. You make a deal with King Henry to protect travelers passing through the forest. In return, he gives you and your friends a castle of your own. It's not the sort of life you expected, but it's as good as you could hope to find hundreds of years before your birth. The end. So, we have encountered an ending. We haven't died outright. It seems that we have learned to live well into our old age of probably 40, because it's medieval times. And very quickly, just a little sketch there of what appears to be a gauntlet holding a sword. So, not an ending. Yeah. See? Right? Right, Lorraine? These endings just spring up out of nowhere. No kind of, no warning. Much like life, I suppose. Yeah. That wasn't any kind of death ending. It was a nice retirement ending. So, I'll just salute. And let's... is this the one? Yep. Let's start from the beginning again. Yeah, we'll read that first page. Why the hell not? Because I think it's hysterical that they're really talking about the Cave of Time again. I like that there's some semblance that a lot of this exists in the same universe. Look at you, world building. Choose your own adventure. You promised yourself you'd never go back into the Cave of Time, but when you found the opening behind a big boulder in Red Creek Canyon, you couldn't resist. The cave seemed darker than before. You slipped and fell, your head hit something, and here you are, lying in a field, looking up into the branches of a big oak tree, with no idea of where you are, or even what century it might be. Now, you may never see your family and friends again. I don't know, some of them I could do without. Rubbing your aching head, you take in the scene around you. Nearby you see a narrow dirt road, and beyond it, a fast-running brook. The road disappears into dense woods on either side of the field. I don't remember reading that. Maybe I skipped a paragraph when we started. You hear the sounds of hooves and a strange clanking noise. Someone is coming. You duck behind a tree as two men on horseback ride toward you. They are wearing shining metal armor. One of them carries a white banner with a golden lion on it. They must be knights. You watch as they rein their horses and dismount just a few yards away. "It has been a long ride, Sir Rupert," says the taller one, "and you have had a long time to think. Tell me, have you solved the riddle of the Forbidden Castle?" I'll spare you the expense of looking at the drawing again. "In truth, Sir Godfrey, I have tried, and so has everyone else in England. What a reward King Henry has offered. Half of the kingdom of Wales." "A handsome reward indeed," Sir Godfrey replies. "But not an overgenerous one, for the old monk promised King Henry that if he conquered the Forbidden Castle, he would rule all of Europe." Excuse me. The knights fill their flasks with water from the stream. As they walk back to their horses, Sir Godfrey says,
We must go on to Cotwin Castle. The king expects us before the sun passes behind the west tower. He will be angry if we are late. Aye, says Sir Rupert. I got them wrong. Who cares? As he vaults onto his horse. The king has been in a fearsome temper since he learned that there have been foreign spies in the English court. And now he has ordered that all suspicious-looking travelers shall be locked in the dungeon. As the knights prepare to ride off, you wonder whether you should come out from behind the tree. You're wearing 20th century clothing. Surely you will look suspicious to these knights. On the other hand, you can't stay hidden forever. So, round 2. Fight! First choice. Let's see. Wait for someone else. Or expose ourselves to the knights. Alright, expose ourselves. Oh, double entendres. Sorry, I thought my return button was a good way to enter data. My bad. Let's see. Sorry, I just was daydreaming there. Or maybe I'm already starting to get tipsy. I don't know. One or the other. While I allow you guys to deliberate so feverishly, those of you who are here, I don't think I need to, but as always, you check out all the great stuff above my head at Geekade. That's geekade.com, at the _Geekade for Twitter. Facebook, right at Geekade. Let's see, what else? A lot of great podcasts if you're not checking that out already. I'm the co-host of the Wave Back podcast with Chris, where we examine soundtracks from old video games from our youth and so forth. This week we're going to be doing Conker's Bad Fur Day. That is going to be interesting. Alright, we're going to expose ourselves to the knights. That still doesn't sound good. Love it, let's do it. Alright. Page 6. That's page 5? That's page 6. Whoop. Just as the knights mount their horses, you step out from behind the tree. Who are you? Asks Sir Godfrey. Where did you get those strange garments? I know a spy when I see one, says Sir Rupert. He leans over and pulls you roughly up on his horse. If this is not a spy, it is a devil. I'm a devil. Sir Godfrey brings his horse up next to you and stares at you intently. The devil is crafty and knows how to assume an innocent form, but I will not be fooled. We'll take this devil to the castle, Rupert, and thence to the dungeon. Here's a drawing of you getting manhandled. Turn to page 10. On to page 10. On to page 10. Okay. You cling to the horse, trying to keep from falling off, as the knights gallop to the castle yard. They drag you down a long flight of crumbling stairs. One of them opens a creaking iron gate. Another shoves you into a dark, musty room. The gate swings shut behind you. The floors of your new quarters is rock. There are no windows, only a few cracks in the walls that provide barely enough light for you to see your cellmate crouching in the corner. This should be great. He is very thin, and his grimy hair hangs halfway down to his hips. Yeah, it sounds a lot like me in my 20s. Keep away from me, he shouts. Your clothes were made by the devil. Don't come near me. Please don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. But do you know what they will do with me? Most prisoners are beheaded, but if you are found guilty, they'll burn you at the stake. It is the only way to purge the devil from your soul. I've got news for you, buddy. Yeah, I wish it was Todd, right? Really skinny, cracked out Todd. Which is ironic because we're talking about a woolly mammoth. Devil from your soul, yes. He steps closer. He steps closer. Okay. Don't worry. If you're innocent, you won't burn. You only have a few moments before your fate is sealed. Maybe the guards can help you. So, our next choice.
Alright, our next choice is going to be between... if you ask the guards to tell you the riddle of the Forbidden Castle... Okay, so ask about the riddle. Ask about me, make them ask about me. Or, if you ask them about what sort of trial you will have. Type of trial. Yeah, because that's what I care about. So, are we going to ask the guards about the riddle, or are we going to ask them how we're going to die? Basically. Let's see. In a magical world, anything is possible. You are right. Magic. Because these books are all magical. Actually, every book is magical. Reading is fundamental. And I put the fun in funeral. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of family ancestry this week. Oh, boy. Looking at a lot of tombstones. What's up? That's a fun voyage. Ooh, I think I can kind of get my mustache going. Oh, I'm gonna shave this thing off, man. I've just been real lazy. Let's see what's going on here. Can I do this? Can I get this? Sorta. Sorta. Make that happen. Alright. I knew it. I knew you guys wouldn't let me down. We're going to axe about the riddle. That's right. I said axe. A-E-X. And that's not how you spell axe. Page 17. Good old page... Whoa. Page 17. Just got to keep saying page 17 until I find it, because I will forget it. I have the memory of Guy Pearce in Momentum. Memento. Excuse me. Holy cow. Alright, page 17. Please, you ask the two guards, tell me the riddle of the Forbidden Castle. The taller one looks down at you, a stupid grin on his face. He pushes you through the crowd of people gathered in the courtyard. I can only assume that this came from something else, because we were just in a jail cell. Knights and ladies in colorful robes are laughing and calling out to each other, excuse me. In the center of the courtyard is a pile of wood stacked around a pole. A man stands next to the pole, holding a coil of rope. Hang on a second. In one hand and a knife in the other. I have to go back because this doesn't feel right. Page 10. Right? That was it? Page 10. Okay, page 17 it is. Sometimes these don't read as fluidly as I guess they should. The tall guard leans toward you. The Lord Chancellor will allow a final request before you are tied to the stake. He points to a man whose dark gray cloak reaches to his ankles. And if you pay him enough, he will touch his ankles too. May I make a last request, you ask? The Chancellor looks at you coldly. What is it? Tell me the riddle of the Forbidden Castle. Little good it will do you, he says. But it is a simple enough request. He steps closer and looks at you curiously. Then he says, somewhere south, where it is colder, where that which falls stays where it is, you'll find what it isn't, what it is. What? Okay, I read that and I don't even know what I just read. Okay. As you stand there, trying to figure out the riddle, the executioner steps forward with his coil of rope. You have only a minute left to live. Escape is impossible. Sure. Oh, cool. There's like a full splash page of you being sent to your death. Let me see if I can get that a little bit better. Cat's a little... You don't want to focus? Let's see if we can get that to focus. Maybe not. Alright, well, you get the idea. What it is and what it should never be. Follow the thing that thing should not be. Let's stop trying to quote songs. Okay. Suddenly, the guard presses you up against the stake. The rough, prickly pole pulls tight against your waist. You must say something now. Our choices are... choices are weird. We can ask for more time to solve the riddle, of course, or say, stop, I have a solution to the riddle. Claim to have the answer. Do you guys actually know this riddle? Because I don't. I like riddles, and when I hear them, I always try and commit them to memory because I never know when I'm going to run into a sphinx. But I've never heard this riddle before. So if you guys know it and then you know the answer, you won't burn at a stake. But I don't mind a burnt steak. That's right. I like my steaks well. And I don't give a who knows it. Man, oh man, water is tasty. I enjoy water. Let's see where you guys are at with this. Huh? Yeah, that seems pretty par for the course. Alright. Where are we at here? Page 28. We're going to claim to have an answer. Page 20. Ooh, was that? I think that was the picture for you dying at the stake. Or not. I don't know. 25. 26, 27, 27, 28. Ooh, that's a long page. And I've got a burp. Guess not. Oh my god, it's right there. The minute I start talking, the minute I start reading, it's going to come out. Watch. Stop. I have the solution to the riddle. The executioner laughs and he waves his lighted torch before your eyes. Suddenly, the Chancellor steps forward. Stop the execution, he says in a loud voice. But, the executioner cries, the prisoner is stalling for time. That may be, says the Chancellor, but the prisoner is like none we've ever seen before. Perhaps this is a wizard. This stranger may be the one person who can answer the riddle. The knights and ladies begin to chant, to the stake, to the stake. But the Chancellor leads you out of the courtyard and through an archway, beyond which is a large oak door guarded by two men with heavy swords and shields. One of them opens the door, and the Chancellor leads you to a large octagonal room lighted by casement windows over each of the rough stone walls. At the far end of a large oak table sits King Henry himself, cheating presumably on many of his wives. I don't know, I just added that. He looks at you curiously as he strokes his long, pointed beard. We have never been so happy as when we learned that you have saw the solution to the riddle, he says. So, tell us what it is. You've been trying desperately to think of a solution. You think of the first line of the riddle. Somewhere south where it is colder. At least you have a couple of ideas. Normally, it would be warmer, not cooler if you go south. But the mountains may be cooler. Even though farther south, and of course, the coldest place of all is the South Pole. Well, the king leans forward impatiently. Oh, look at that nifty drawing. Oh my god. Put a crown on him. Looks like your host. How about that? Now, I think what I need for this show is a chalice. I got that nifty trophy. Vest Lord. You suck. Next choice. I'll talk about that in a moment. So, looks like we got some lying to do here. If you say the Forbidden Castle is to the south, but high in the mountains where it is colder. Okay. The mountains. Shorten that up. Or we say that the Forbidden Castle is in the south on the way to the South Pole. Okay, whatever. Wrong pole. Those are our choices. I need to be better about social media presence, especially for this and the other things that Geekade's doing. This trophy has come about with a little friendly competition between myself and the Vest Lord Dean DeFalco. If you're friendly with the stream, then you've seen him before on here. He's actually a good buddy of mine. But he got a little too cocky. He holds the Geekade title for trivia wins, right? And that's an actual belt, which would be nice, but I'm not good at trivia. But then he decided to buy himself that trophy, and I called him out on it. So now we've been going back and forth on a program we like to call Bash at the Bits, because we're wrestling fans. And we basically challenge each other each week to old school video games with, stipulations. Who can last the longest, highest score, how far can you get in one life, that sort of stuff. So every week they come out, and every week I will do my best to post them on the Stream Your Own Adventure fan page on Facebook. Again, if you're following the Geekade stuff, they'll be on our YouTube channel. They're on our Twitch, try that again. They're on our Twitter feed. So every time a new one comes out, don't miss them. And we talk a lot of trash. Like, a lot of trash. Alright, we're going to lie and say we're going to go to the mountains. Page 34. That dude is weird looking. Page 34. Okay. The Forbidden Castle is to the south, you say, but high in the mountains where it is colder. The king begins to pace around the room. I do that when I talk on the phone. Your heart is pounding. Will he praise you or send you to your death? Suddenly he turns, smiling. There is wisdom in what you say. I know that in the south of France there are mountains higher than any in England, and their tops are covered with snow, while flowers bloom in the valleys below. Now, what is the rest of the solution? You think of the next line of the riddle. Where that which falls stays where it is. But you can hardly even guess at the solution. Could it have something to do with the sun setting? The sun falls below the horizon, yet really stays where it is. That's the genius of being from the future and not some kind of dim-witted peasant. You actually know that the sun is stationary. Relatively speaking, of course. So, our next choice is, do we say the second line has to do with the sun, with the setting sun? That's a good song by the Chemical Brothers. Or, we must go to the southern mountains. Then I will be able to tell you. So, head to the mountains. Lie to save your ass right now, or lie to die now, or lie to die later. I don't know. I am getting parched. I could feel my drying up. I gotta start drinking warm water. It's better. It's better for the throat. Yeah. Yeah. Better for the throat. It's in the white hair. What is that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice. Getting old, buddy. Look at that. Getting old. Alright. I got two screens where I can see myself, and I catch myself all the time. And, oy. I am in my own little world here. Got a 6-foot table. No, this is like a 4-foot table. I'm in a world of 4-foot tables and board games and ugly, gaudy gold trophies. All right, let's see. Head to the mountains. All right, we're going to France. We always want to go to France. Page 43. What a jovial drawing of that king. Page 43, 39. Page 43. Page 43. That's page 44. Alright. We must go to the southern mountains, you say. Then I will be able to tell you. The king frowns. He heaves a sigh and says, Very well. I shall provide a ship which will take you to France, a day and a half's voyage from Dover, given a fair wind. There shall go with you the Earl of Kent and 3 of my best knights. Meanwhile, I shall gather my army together, enough men to conquer any castle, and we shall follow within the week. Soon all of Europe will be mine. He smiles a broad smile. Then, pointing a finger at you, he says, But if you do not find the forbidden castle, I will see you hang from the tallest trees in England. Taking care to speak in the manner of the court, you say, Never fear, my lord, I shall find this castle before the next full moon. Then, as the monk foretold, all Europe shall do homage to your sword. Well spoken, the king says. Now, make ready, lords, knights, and vassals. We journey to France. Again, what's this we you speak of, white man? Because quite frankly, you just told me I had to go with a handful of people. By the way, did anyone else get a weird vibe from Garth? Like, you were the only 2 dudes, like, hanging out in the forest, like, all the time? That was a little weird. Anyway, page 57. You spend half of the next day floating down the Thames River on the Royal Barge. It docks in London, and though you are eager to see the ancient city, the Earl of Kent has other plans. He swings you up onto his horse and begins riding toward the southern shore. Yeah, Garth was odd. The smell of the fresh sea breeze and the flocks of gulls circling overhead tell you that you have arrived in Dover, where one of King Henry's ships is waiting to take you across the English Channel. You are glad to be safe for the moment, but you keep thinking about what will happen to you if you can't find the Forbidden Castle. The more you think about it, the more you think you'd better escape. Early the next morning, you, the Earl, and 3 of his knights set sail on one of the royal ships. The voyage is a smooth one, and shortly before noon the next day, you step onto the fertile soil of France. The Earl of Kent and his knights mount their powerful war horses. It begins. You are ordered into the back of a wooden cart. Though the ride is bumpy, you would rather be on one of those horses, you begin to enjoy the beautiful countryside. It is late afternoon when you come to a tavern. We will stop here, the Earl calls to the driver. It is time to load our cask with a good French wine. You will wait here. We shall not be long. Here's a drawing of presumably what's happening right now. And on to the next page. Sorry, guys. Definitely need a swig of water. They step inside, and you are all alone with the driver. He climbs down and walks ahead to check the horse's harness. As he tightens a leather strap, you realize this may be your only chance to escape. You survey the scene around you. Open pasture land lies on both sides of the road, and there is no place to hide unless you make it to the bridge 100 yards or so down the road. The land beyond is thickly wooded. So, our next choice. Are we going to decide to jump out and run for it? Attempt to escape? Or are we going to attempt to seize the reins and urge the horses onward? So, steal the cart. Let's see. Are we going to make a run for it, or are we going to steal the cart? So I guess it's pretty clear that we're going to attempt to escape. I don't know. Part of me kind of wanted to see what would happen. I don't know why they didn't allow us to just chillax in this cart. Yeah, so I definitely got some weird vibes from that Garth storyline. Like, again, you were the only two dudes in the woods, like, hanging out. And you hung out long enough that you learned how to, like, hunt and fish and then eventually become, like, the leader of the clan. Like there were no women. Like you went there a little boy and you grew into a man. And they never mentioned any women. Ever. Like, ever. maybe I'm just reading this out of context. I don't know. All right. Wait, which one was attempt to escape? Jump out and run for it. Okay. All right, catch an arrow in the back. Page 62. All right. Still wearing those same clothes. They never gave you any new clothes. This is a drawing. You jump out of the cart and race down the road. The bridge up ahead spans a swiftly flowing river. The woods beyond it should offer you a good hiding place. But maybe you could throw Henry's men off the track by doubling back and hiding behind the tavern itself. That was a short one. Okay. Wouldn't even have picked the book up if I had to do this. If I knew how to do this. Let's see. Do we try to make it across the bridge? That's not how you spell bridge. Or do we run behind the tavern until you can decide what to do next? Hide behind tavern. I mean, I'd rather hide inside the tavern, but that's just me. I'm just that guy. Yeah, are we going to attempt to make it across the bridge, or are we going to hide behind the tavern and I guess attempt to figure out what's next? As you guys are deciding, I will show you this nifty little drawing of you running in your blue jeans, in your lumberjack outfit, across the bridge. I wish there was a better way to show you these drawings. I mean, that's a lot of prep work. Jeez, that's a lot of prep work, the way I'm thinking about it. I'm not even gonna... Yeah. And then we drink. Hot dog, that's good. Hot dogs. I like hot dogs. That's the one thing I was robbed of this summer. Old-fashioned barbecue and hot dogs. It's the only time I eat them in the summer. Hide behind the tavern. Yeah, it's the best place to hide. Although I still think inside the tavern's a better place to hide. Page 67. Ooh, I think I just saw what would happen if we cross the bridge. All right, let's page 67. You dash around the side of the tavern, keeping as low as you can, so as not to be seen through the casement windows. As you round the rear corner, you almost crash into a young girl with the longest braids you've ever seen. "What are you running from?" she asks, but she gives you no time to answer. "My name is Michelle. I live in the tavern. Come, I will show you where to hide." Okay. You're about to become a man now. You follow her down a steep flight of stone steps, through a dark passageway, and into a small room filled with casks of wine. Oh, she has a French accent. I guess I should have thrown a French accent. A stereotypically French accent. The only light comes from a few cracks between the stones in the wall. I will bring you food and milk when it is... What is with the milk? Jug of milk. Here's some milk. I will bring you food and milk when it is safe, she says. Then she turns and hurries up the stairs. You sit in the cellar, wondering what will become of you. When will Michelle return? You would like to sneak upstairs to get food, but you don't dare. King Henry's knights will surely be looking for you. A few minutes later, the door swings open and Michelle steps in, carrying a plate heaped with food. "Lamb, pears, and fresh bread," she says. "The cook is a friend of mine. I've got good news, too. The English knights have left. They think you are hiding in the woods." I know. I mean, look, we both know that reading these books nowadays as adults, and they're almost, oh God, dare I say it, 40 years old, you know, and geared towards 11-year-olds. I know, it's all out of context. I need something to make fun of. Or else I'm going to turn on you guys. While you eat, you tell Michelle about everything that has happened since you arrived in England, hundreds of years before your birth. She listens intently, and when you have finished, she says, "It is a strange story you tell, but I am very glad you have come. My parents died when I was a small child, and I've been running this inn by myself." No. "The innkeeper said I could live at the inn if I swept the floors and helped the cook. Now he works..." Oh boy. Alright, let's be adults about this now. "Now he works me night and day and beats me if I complain. I have been afraid to run away alone, but we can go together." This is like some True Romance. If you've ever seen that movie, this is like some True Romance-ish. How? "The cook will give us packs of food. I will take blankets and 2 good horses." Yep, what's the right answer? And 2 good horses. "The moon will be full tonight. We will ride the road south. There's just one more thing. You cannot expect to hide from anyone in those clothes. See what I've brought?" She hands you a small bundle. "Put these on." It is near midnight when Michelle comes to get you, and a few moments later, the 2 of you gallop down the road, free. Page 81. Oh, is this a series of drawings? Let's see. Alright, so let's assume... Page 81, by the way. 81, 81, 81, 81. This is the drawing of you trying on your new clothes, and her probably judging you. And then the next one I'm going to assume is, I don't know, the cook. Because he's fat. Because you should never trust a skinny cook, apparently. Old wives' tale, I don't know what that's about. Alright, page 81. Wow, that's quite a, that's quite a stretch. Let's go. Come on. A little slower. A little slower. Page 81. That's page 82. Oh, technology. Alright. For 2 days, you and Michelle ride the trail south, stopping only long enough to get some sleep and let your horses rest. On the morning of the 3rd day, you reach a fork in the trail, where you meet a shepherd. "Good morning, my friend," you say. "Could you tell us which trail will take us south to the mountains? By the way, let's... suspension of disbelief. You're in France, in the medieval times. I'm like 102% sure nobody speaks English." The shepherd looks at you quizzically and shakes his head. "Sorry, I don't speak English," he said. No, I'm just kidding. "I could not say, except to say you cannot go south by going south." What's with all these riddles? Aha! "What new riddle is this?" Michelle demands. "It is no riddle," the shepherd replies, "but a simple truth. For to the south of us lies No Man's Forest, where the trails are blocked by thickets and thorns, and deadly snakes await underfoot and above, dangling from trees. So, if you want to go south, you first must go east or west." "What lies to the west?" you ask. Shepherd frowns and says, "The trail to the west winds up around high, rocky hills, where the January wind blows in July, and the dragon of the ledges waits for foolish travelers." God. "And to the east?" asked Michelle. "To the east are lands of the court Gaston, where half the wolves in Europe roam." You and Michelle exchange glances. "Cannot turn back now," she says. "We must go east or west, but they both sound bad to me." So, I guess anything's better than being beaten night and day, right? Are we gonna go west or are we gonna go east? That was easy, because if I spelled one of those wrong, it's time to hang it up. And with that, we kill this. And with that, as always, I say, cheers. That has such a an interesting aftertaste. Post note, if you will. As, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. Maybe it's all this talk of wine, and I'm like, you're gonna. Don't mind me, I'm just being ridiculous. Kanye West it is. Page 71. Page 71. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Alright, page 71 it is. Let's get comfortable. Got some reading to do. You and Michelle follow the trail to the west, which winds around the steep hillside. The sun is beginning to set when you see a rambling building made of stones and logs. Wildflowers and ferns are growing on the sod-covered roof. Goats and sheep graze nearby. This must be a monastery, Michelle says. But look, someone is using it as a farm. As she speaks, a man walks out of the building. And who are you? He asks. We're travelers from the north, says Michelle. Who are you? Some stank on it because it's italicized. Auguste Le Bon, he says. Late of service to the Prince of Lion, but now I tend this farm for the Philosopher's Knights. I don't know why I read it like that. I think because I'm tipsy. August takes you inside and gives you bread and cheese and warm broth. He tells you that the Philosopher's Knights spend most of their time studying philosophy and playing chess, but they are at present visiting the court of the Prince of Lion, who, it seems, fears an invasion by Henry, King of England. Wonder where he got that impression. Naturally, he has called upon the philosophers for advice, says Augustine. Augustine says if you would like to spend the night, you and Michelle gratefully accept. In the morning, you ask August if he thinks you can safely get past the Dragon of the Ledges. Whew. Alright, hang on a second here. Getting to that point in my life where I think I need glasses. That's always fun. I cannot answer that, he says, for I have never known anyone to try. But I know of a secret trail through No Man's Forest. It is possible to get through safely, though there is a great risk. I will be glad to show you the way if you like. Whichever route you take, you must travel on foot. The Dragon Trail is too steep and rugged, and the trail through the forest is sometimes no more than a tunnel through the thorns. Michelle beckons you aside. What do you think? She says. You're tempted to choose the Dragon Trail. After all, you're from the 20th century, and you know that dragons never really existed. But on the other hand, so, we go to the polls. Ooh, threefer. Let's see. No Man's... That's not how you spell that. No Man's Forest. Dragon Trail. Or wait for the Philosopher's Knights to return. Let's see. Wait for the Knights. So you can expose yourself to them. That's probably a lot more of them than there was in the beginning. Let's see. Claim my bonus. Woo! Okay. So we either go through No Man's Forest, take the Dragon Trail. I'm curious what that one is. Or wait for the Philosophers. Let's see, what would I choose? What would I choose? I'm not going to tell you. Okay. Okay, that works for me. Man, oh man. When there's a lot less of us, these timers are so long. But when there's a lot of us, they go so quickly. Wow. Oh, yeah. This thing is almost 7%. Hell. That explains a lot. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I'm gonna start on rambling. So, through No Man's Forest, page 74. What? I can make this bigger? I can make it bigger! I did not know that. Alright. I've only been reading 14 of these things, and I didn't know I can make it bigger. Oh, okay, 12 technically, because I actually had 2 books, but anyway. You and Michelle follow August through a forest of towering pines. Late in the day, you reach a slow-moving, muddy stream. A huge fallen tree forms a bridge across it. Beyond the stream are the thickest woods you've ever seen. You can camp here for the night, says August. The trail through No Man's Forest begins at the other end of the bridge. If you stay out at dawn and travel at a good pace, you will be safely through the forest by sunset. But do not stop to rest. The snakes come out at night. Reminds me of a song. Early the next morning, you and Michelle carefully cross the bridge and set out on the trail through No Man's Forest. You follow a twisting route which winds around great clumps of thorns and plunges down into gullies and up steep ridges. Each of you carries a stick to brush aside the thorn branches which hang down across the path. You walk briskly along without rest until the sun sinks low in the western sky and the forest grows darker. If only you knew how much further you had to go. I'm so tired I can barely walk, says Michelle. Can we stop just for a few moments? I can't believe they're going to make you choose this one. So, let's see. Are we going to... Okay, let's try that again. Are we going to rest? That's not how you spell rest. Wow, I'm really batting 1,000 right now. Are we going to rest or push on? Rest or push on? I mean, the guy did tell us if we kept a good pace, we'd be there by sunset, so we're probably really close. But this probably is the first time you've come in contact with a girl, so you're probably willing to do whatever she says. I'm out here amusing myself, don't mind me. Let's see. I'm amusing you too, Lorraine. That's great. Is it weird that I call you Lorraine because I actually know who you are? I'm sure you don't care. Alright, let's see. I made this too big now. There we go. Much better. Alright, we're going to push on through. What song is that? That is a Times of Grace song. Those guys are good. Those guys are good. You're good. I'm good. It's all good. Okay. Page 118. What the F? Oh. Cool. Actually, there are some drawings to accompany what I just read. It's a regular Indiana Jones over here. And then... Let's see. Oh crap, I already forgot the page number. 118. 118, 118, 118, and here's one more drawing for you. I don't know. Page 118. Page 118. Oh good, my slider works. Ooh, page 118, nice and close to the end of the book. You know what that always means. Okay, slider doesn't work because it didn't take me to page 118. So. Yeah, right, the one with the vines is actually really cool. It reminds me of like when I used to draw. Now I just draw the same thing over and over again. Page 1. What? Oh boy. This is page 116, 17, and 18. Here we go. Page 118. We can't stop now, you say. It'll be dark soon. You hurry along the trail, slowing only to push the thorny branches aside. But darkness comes quickly in No Man's Forest. You strain to see each turn in the trail. Then suddenly it grows lighter up ahead. A few quick steps, and you yell for joy. Michelle, we made it! Ahead of you is a field of golden grain. On the hillside beyond is a stone cottage. Nearby, a peasant woman is Nearby, I'm sorry. Nearby is a peasant woman. Oh my god, I can't. Okay. Nearby, a peasant woman is hoeing a small garden. You and Michelle run toward her, and she looks up to you from her work. Can you give us some food? Michelle says. We are lost and hungry. I would like to help you, but I'm a poor serf, says the woman. I work for the lord of the manor. He is a cruel man. Look, there are 2 of his knights now. She points to 2 men riding straight toward you. Right now, you are too weary and too hungry to resist. What can we do? Michelle asks. You look at her and manage to smile. We've been through a lot, and we've learned a lot. Someday we shall escape, and we shall find the Forbidden Castle. That's another ending. Was that 2? We only made 2 in an hour and 15? That's crazy. I was having this conversation with the Vest Lord. Yeah, Les Fins, actually, because we're in France. Les Fins. I was having this conversation with Vest Lord the other day, and we were talking about our respective streams. And he was telling me that people suggest to gain more viewers, you have to stream for 4+ hours. There's no way in hell I'm going to read this book for 4 hours. I wouldn't read it for 1 hour if it weren't for this show. And then on top of that, my voice wouldn't hold out. I couldn't imagine going through this book for 4 hours. Right? Yeah. First of all, I'd have to start at, let's see, I started at 8. I started at 9. I'd have to start at like 5 p.m. And I like dinner, and I'm not missing dinner, so, like, nah. Then, what? I start at 9, and then I go till, like, 2 a.m.? No! That's ridiculous. Anyway. That's an ending, man. That's totally an ending to this book that we just did. And I can't, for the life of me, get back to the main page. Oh, there we go. Back to the main page. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's only if you have absolutely nothing to do. Yeah, no, I'm not. This does not pay my bills. It does not put food in my stomach. It doesn't even put beer in my belly. So, that's not happening. 4 hours. Somebody's going to truly have to pay me to sit down and read this book 4 hours worth. Oh, the life to have nothing to do. Remember what that was like in our 20s? Anyway, here we are. Speaking of 20s, it's 10:20. If paid, then hell yeah, yeah, of course. If you paid me, I don't know, I'd do a bunch of different things for 4 hours. Like watch horse racing. Or bands I don't care for. Let's see. Yeah, 10:20. You know, we usually call it a night around 10:30. It actually seems like it's just me and you, Lorraine, so that's interesting. You tell me, you want to go one more, or do you want to call it a night? Either way, I'm not going to be offended. It seems that this was a personalized show for you. So, you tell me. Because I'll just... That's awkward. Yeah. You know, welcome to my life. My life is awkward. So... Excuse me. Yeah, there were. See, that was the thing that Vest and I were complaining about. You gotta... Yeah, I hear you. You gotta... people show up in the beginning and everyone's like, oh, hey, hi. You know, and you got big numbers in the beginning. And then, you know, they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot why I don't want... And then they leave and taper off. So, it is what it is. Nature of the beast. All right. Well, then, as always, I'm going to thank you personally. Yeah. It fizzles out. That's exactly it. I thank you personally for hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure. You know, when this when the world goes back to semi-normal, we're going to have to head out to the ale house and grab some beers. But until then, I enjoy seeing you on the stream. And for those of you who have been watching this after the fact on the YouTube channel, thank you for checking out the video, sticking with it. As always, all the great Geek 8 stuff above me. Follow our social media. I'm here every Sunday at 9 p.m. with a brand new story. And speaking of brand new stories, next week is going to be The House of Danger. Woohoo! I can't even imagine what the hell that's going to be. House of Danger. Let's see, who wrote this? R.A. Montgomery. Not a big fan, but it is what it is. All right, with that being said, I will... Yeah, Stranger Danger. It's a house full of strangers. What have I put into my own head? All right, with that being said, I'm going to bid you adieu because we ended in Les Fin, France. And I will see you next week. I hope your week's enjoyable. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next week.